difficult loss like that, there's only one thing that fixes that, and that's getting back to work, moving on to your next opponent. Disappointed with the way we played this past Saturday. Give South Carolina credit. They beat us. And it is what it is. Obviously, when you lose one of the top players in college football, it doesn't help your football team. But it's still no excuse for the way we played around him. There's certainly things we could do better. I've addressed that after the game, and that holds true after watching the film. So moving on to Mississippi State, very good team. Obviously, anytime you're playing Mike Leach, he can move the football. They're very good at what they do. Their quarterback, Will Rogers, is playing at a very, very high level, extremely comfortable, in total command of that offense. They have two dynamic running backs and always have playmakers on the perimeter. Defensively, I think they're doing a very good job. Zach Arnett is got those guys playing. Very experienced group. They have a bunch of guys on their two deep that have played a boatload of football. I want to say eight, maybe 8 returning starters, and a bunch of guys that in the two deep that are juniors and seniors. So very experienced. I think they play very hard. Zach does a very good job. You put that combination together with offense, defense, and special teams. No surprise that they're ranked in the top 25, and looking forward to us getting back home and playing with the intensity, playing with the excitement that we need to play with. I failed to mention it Saturday, but obviously you've heard me say it before. When you don't deliver for the fan base, it kind of bothers you as a head coach because you appreciate them so much. And I thought coming into the game Saturday, the tailgate and the people, the environment, the stands, it's been remarkable, and greatly appreciate that. Needed again here this week to get back on track, and sorry we did not deliver, and I could promise you our team is working hard, and we're excited about this week and need to have that same environment we've had all year, and we really appreciate that, and we're going to need it. No, the only thing to fix anything is to get back to work. We know that. We've been there. We understand what it takes. Our team knows what it takes. Our coaching staff knows what it takes, and we got to get back to work. There's nobody going to feel sorry for you. You get back to work, get back on the horse, and get back at it here this week.
Mark, in a time like this, do you turn to your leaders a little bit more than you might ordinarily, or do you just business as usual?
Certainly part of the process, yes.
Mark, is it still a day-to-day approach with Dylan this week?
It is.
Is it concerning at all to hear, players say that the energy is just not there on the sidelines at this point in the season?
Well, I think it's always concerning, and we talked about it. I talked about it since Monday. I challenged them. Actually, I challenged them in the locker room the week before, post-game, and I challenged them again Monday every week about high energy. So I guess I could talk about it till blue in the face, but, I think they better do something about it. And, I think that has to do with how we play, too. When you play very well, you seem to feed off the energy that's going on the field.
When you went back and looked at it, how did you think that Kaya performed in that situation?
I thought he made some really good throws. He made some poor decision on where his eyes were that led to bad plays. That led to sacks, and we've talked about that. It's going to happen at times. It's not always all on the O-line or protection and things of that nature. So, but for the first time, I mentioned it. I felt like it during the game, and it held true after watching the tape that we didn't play very good around him at times. There's people that did. There's plays. But again, the inconsistency, the breakdown, a breakdown here, a breakdown there, and you can't put it on any one person. We just, as a group, didn't play very good around him. I felt like that during the game, and I said it after, and that was certainly true after watching the film. So he did some very good things. We need to play better and respond better around him.
Is there an updated timeline on Jacquez?
No.
Mark, after you looked at the tape, what happened to the defense in the third quarter?
Very disappointed, to be honest with you, in some support, you know. I mean, without getting too in detail or throwing any person under the bus or any one group or anything like that. It just was misplaced. I mean, misplaced. I mean, yeah, really no excuse for it. I mean, honestly, just, and no disrespect to them because we do it too. But even the screen, even when it wasn't pulled them back. It took forever. It's like, when we do that, usually we get blown up. It goes for a touchdown, and we just poor angle, wrong fit. I mean, there's no excuse. It's kind of very aggravating.
You mentioned some of Kai's mistakes, and in the post-game interviews, he even said that he would like to have a few of those back and some of the sacks and things like that. How important is that self-awareness, I guess, for a player that's so young in his growth if he does have to play again?
Well, it certainly says a lot about him, and it comes, and you've heard me talk for many years, just experience matters. Playing and being in that situation, it matters. And, he was put in a tough situation and responded well, and he's a tough young man, and he'll handle, all that, criticism from us, from himself, very well, and, he'll get better.
Stoops opened the year at number 2. What did you like about what Kai has done over the last month or so to elevate him?
We heard a lot about this tight end room, and do you feel like the production has been there from that group, or do you feel like there's another layer that they could hit?
Yeah, I do. I feel like there's more in that group. There's things that you don't see, the catches, the touchdowns, the effort in the open field we all appreciate, and you see that, and they're doing some good things. And I think we all, it's blatant to the naked eye, maybe if somebody drops a pass or something of that nature, but what you're not seeing is missed assignments and blocking schemes and technique and angles and straining and finishing and doing all the dirty work that's not seen. I believe we could be better.
Mark, at Ole Miss, you told us that Chris was tired at the end of the game, that you just can't replicate games.
I don't think I used the word tired, but you did. But go ahead.
Well, you said it takes some time to get used
Yeah.
to get ready to get speed. Do you think he was more equipped, or at the end of the game, was it still just a little bit like it's going to take a little more time?
No, I think he was in. I think I didn't say tired, but I believe I used the word. But the anxiousness, the in the game, the breathing, the things that go on, you can't replicate that no matter how great a shape you're in. And I think that's the difference with playing games and not. He's in great shape. It's a matter of feeling that pressure, feeling the breathing. You know what I mean? Feeling seeing the holes, and you know what I mean, that type of thing. And of course, you get better with the more reps you have.
Do you feel like he was underutilized in the second half, or was that just kind of a game situation?
Well, again, you probably know the answer to this if you know me clear enough. Plays. I mean, they had the ball, we didn't. I think we had 9 plays without a penalty. He ran it 4 times. Then the game's out of touch after that. So, we utilized him how we needed to in the first half. I wish the fumble didn't have, there were some things we could do over, but we were using him and getting that 5 yards, 6 yards, so I think it's plays and team, it kind of puts you in that position.
Mark, is the lack of plays, is that just you all need to be better at complementary football, or is it maybe we need to pick up the pace a little bit on offense? How do you fix that?
It's both. They had 2 long drives in the third quarter. They took the ball, like you mentioned, and we talked about it at halftime, but very disappointing, when, and I mentioned this post game, but to with the things that happened in the first half, to tie it at 7-7 and playing very good defense to that point, to come out and give up a long drive for a touchdown to start doesn't help things at all. So yes, it is back to not being very good complementary football, and us not getting the first downs and getting negative yardage plays. And so defensively needs to get off the field, offensively needs to sustain drives.
Mark, just the pace of the offensive operation,
Are you comfortable with that? Would you like it to speed up some?
Yes, it is difficult, especially when you're behind. There's no question. Yeah, there are all things that are fair criticism and you need to look at. Yes, when you're behind, it's very noticeable, and that's, part of the thing with a pro system, that the verbiage, the time with a new quarterback, it was taking, the operation takes some time.
In terms of pace by the other team, is Mississippi State similar to Ole Miss? What have you seen?
Not quite as, no, they're not trying to go as fast as Mississippi State or Tennessee or, Ole Miss or Tennessee are the high tempo teams.
What is the challenge, though? You mentioned Rodgers is playing at such a high level, but
That's Mike Leach offenses. They are very efficient. 72% completion percentage. I think they're running the ball this year. Over 100 yards a game, throwing it for over 350 and high completion percentage. And Will is very, very comfortable back there. It's hard because as you pressure and they have answers and very efficient at getting the ball down the field. So there's always that fine line when you play them and you watch everybody try a lot of different ways. And so they're very good at completing the ball down the field. You got great coverage, back shoulder catches. They have answers to a lot of things. So we have to worry about ourselves and playing much better. Obviously we know we went down there a year ago and look at that, and certainly missed tackles were a thing, yards after catch. That's what they do. All those things. But again, you mix it up, you bring pressure, they can get it down the field as well.
You talked about Arnett's defense on the top there. What about that 3-3-5 scheme they play is so challenging? Because it's given you guys fits the last couple of years.
It gives a lot of people fits. I think they want to say they have maybe 12 turnovers, 8 interceptions, 4 fumbles, 33 points off turnovers. They create a lot of havoc on a lot of people. And they do a nice job with it. And I think they're very comfortable. I think they have great experience. I think Zach mixes it up, and I think their team can handle it. They adjust and make calls, based on formation sometimes and what you're doing, and they're efficient at what they're doing. So anytime they're in that kind of configuration, they can bring a lot of havoc on a lot of different ways, and they have, again, with the numbers that I just said.
Mark, I think you told the radio before the game that you had some stuff for Destin Wade if you needed him. Just what do you like about where he's at right now?
Yeah, we didn't get to that point, obviously, with the way the game played out, and we just, would love to get Destin in there a few plays and, a package and see, but the game didn't play out that way, so we'll see where it goes in the future.
How's his development?
We're impressed with the way he's developing. Really, I feel like he's made a lot of improvements since he's been here.
Mark, we've talked in the past about younger guys who've had the opportunity to move up the depth chart, maybe start or play more. Do you think anything that happened last week might have been a product of guys who didn't really know how to handle prosperity going into a game like that?
This past week, I don't know. I hope not. I'm not sure. We got to get with some guys individually, talk to some guys individually, talk to guys collectively. I got to talk to groups, like you mentioned. So there's a lot of work to be done. But again, we've been here, we've been through this, and we will work. There's one way to get back on track, and that's to work and for everybody to take accountability, to look at their area first, and have an impact on others as well.
Mark, when you look at the last 2 games, do you think the young players are having a hard time understanding what you're trying to get them to understand?
I don't know exactly what the reason is. I could tell you from experience that sometimes this is all new to them. Playing under this pressure, with this intensity, with this type of consistency, is new, and so that's a fact. And we still need them and count on them and appreciate the work that they've done to this point. And they'll continue to fight through it, and we got to continue to coach them through it.
I know you're not blaming any loss or anything on injuries, but is it that time of the season when every team across the country is kind of banged up, you're trying to get to that bye of that working week?
It is. I mean, you've seen it. You know, you saw other quarterbacks in the SEC that were not able to play, and you know, Will went through all last year. We were fortunate in that regard. This year, we weren't able to do that in this case. So, and injuries are a part of it, and every team has them, and you're going to go through some ups and downs. Not sure we've gone through 7 straight since I've been here. This might be the first time, maybe once or twice, I don't know. But you know, so we've got to heal up. You know, we've got to fight hard this week, and we got to get back to work and work exceptionally hard to prepare for this game. There is a bye coming up after that, and the guys will definitely need some time to rest. Yes.
Anyone else? If not, thanks very much.
Okay. Thank you.